We also have a rule run in the corner. Shade Central already kicking things off. Well, I'd say, well, but not as clean as you'd like. Mike already walking in, and just like that, Carmichaels will bring at least one goal back. I'm time to light join alongside me here is Bulls going halfway through game one in this best of 5 series. Already seeing John but Musty and Mike's connecting for at least one goal back for Carmichaels.
Well, you know what they say, time to lie. The first goal is the hardest one to get. So Carmichaels has managed to break the seal. See if we can get a couple more. Still plenty of time left. Kick things off here in this best of 5 series.
We have seen Carmichael's area before. Good, the bad, sometimes the ugly, both good and bad for them as well. But in this scenario, they have to be able to come back already in game one. A shot will go just awry, but nothing to write home about. And John but Musty will be able to clear as far as Jay Cray, apologies. And they'll go all the way to the corner just to follow up for a shot of their own, only to be shut down at the 50. I think Jeff, unfortunately, has had a PC crash.
I think it's just had a bit of a hiccup of some sort, but yeah, we're back at it here. There's a little defense here from Carmichael, trying to get out of the zone. Almost got it out of there. Stopped along the wall. And we'll get punched in. Carmichael's looking for that second goal. 30 seconds to go. And a good save, but it bounces right back to Jay Cray. There's the rebound. And Carmichael's putting 2 back-to-back. Got a game here, TTO.
Importantly enough, just 1 goal to deficit now with 30 seconds. This is more than reasonable for them to come back from. Remember, just a minute or so ago, they were down 3-0 with nearly no hopes, and now they have all the momentum in the world in these final 30. But the game's not over. Job's not finished for them as they try and come back, especially with Icy Veins, who has ice in his veins, all the way up in the air denying that clearance.
Good. 50 from Mike. He's going to punch it down the midfield. Stop it. Oh, they're so close. 6 seconds trying to tie this up. Game one, and they lose control. It's going back the other direction, and as close as Carmichael's was, that ball's going to drop. And Shade Central will take game one.
A valiant effort, you have to say, there for Carmichael's area to come back there, but Shade Central just had too early of a lead. Z-Diggs, you could see their title, Season 8 Grand Champion, about as good of a rank as I am. I'm a college player at this point, so, or college scrub, I guess you could say. And Icy Veins, you could see good car control, to say the very least, in those later stages of the first game, and a clean finish. That's what they were looking for on that Shade Central side, and just a little bit of defense to close things out. Only 2 saves required in the game. 9 shots, though, and they only picked up 3 goals off the back of it.
That's not bad. 3 were on target. 3 were on target but got saved. 3 a little off the mark. But coming in late here, I mean, just looking at Icy Veins and Z-Diggs keep this going through the rest of this series. Icy Veins, I mean, lighting up on the entirety. I mean, look at that. 2 saves, 2 assists, and 1 goal on 3 shots. Looks like Icy Veins was doing a good job of setting up Z-Diggs for those opening 3 goals that happened before we were able to come in and go live. We'll see what happens as we head into game 2, and Carmichaels have to find an answer for this dynamic duo.
Into our second game we'll head, and with Shade Central up a game, but only narrowly. They just barely have a lead, to say the very least. And importantly enough, that lead is one that they cannot keep as much control of as they may have thought going into the later stages of our first game. Remember, it only ended with a 1-goal deficit. Yeah, they had an early lead, sure, but not one that was the greatest of finishes when push came to shove. And now head into the second game, maybe Carmichael's area have that control they're looking for, and may very well end up walking away with a second game victory.
Well, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen a team it takes a game for them to get in the zone, to get warmed up. Some are a little slower than others. But plenty of times that team that lost the first game has come back to win the series. It's certainly not out of the realm of possibilities for Carmichaels here. Icy Veins going in for a big setup over the top. Does get thwarted there at the end. Z-Diggs and to back him up in the dynamic duo in front of the net once again. But John Musty says no.
Just barely will knock that one away. Mike's with a shot of their own, but there is Z-Diggs in the back line. Interrupted by their own teammate, though. That's a shut up for Jay Craze, a follow-up for John Musty, and Jay Craze for the 3rd opportunity. They say 3rd time's the charm, not on this occasion for Carmichaels.
Still looking for that lucky charm. Mike's going to push the ball the outside. Now, I like the way Carmichaels are playing out of the corner. A good setup, patient here. Trying to get off the wall to Jay Craze. Little off the mark, going to bounce out off the near post and a clear here from Shade Central.
Back the other way, though. Seems like Carmichael's not wasting any time trying to clear their own zone as well. These are issues that we've seen in the first couple weeks of the season, where teams will just allow too much pressure to build on their own defensive side, and they're not able to relieve the pressure. All that pressure builds, they end up making a small mistake, and that is then compounded into many more dire mistakes that end up turning into goals. Not the case here. Carmichael's area still clearing the zone periodically, but there's that singular mistake I was talking about, and ZDiggs pouncing on it will find a shot by two separate players and the opening goal for Shade Central.
Oh, just takes it an unfortunate bounce off the curve. Yeah. Once again, Shade Central in the lead. And have had nothing but not been down yet. Jay Craze. Type of good backboard defense from ZDiggs. Well placed and a good read on that ball. I see it's going over. Can't get to it. But coming across, ZDiggs is there to steal it away from Jay Craze and gets over John but Musty.
All the way into the other zone. ZDiggs there for the follow-up. Will end up losing the 50, and it's now bounced into the middle. Quickest Penny, the last one back, needs to be able to get a touch and won't be able to find it. Bar down redirection for Jay Cray. What a pass forward by Mike's as well, and we're dead even at one apiece.
I'm glad you highlighted Mike's, because that pass was perfect. Just right in stride for Jay Craze to hit that angle and get a good shot to the net. Tie this one up. Big credit from Mike's on a very important assist.
Important speed on that one as well, making sure the Quickest Penny couldn't get as far forward as they probably would have wanted. Good demo onto the aforementioned last defender of our previous play. Jay Cray is now going to try and send one of their own, but ZDiggs will not even let that problem start to develop. You can see the two players really clutching themselves up. Nice ball off the wall, but ZDiggs not as far forward as they would have liked, and Jay Cray is looking for another shot of their own, but will not be able to get the touch they were looking for.
Mike's in the corners. Actually going to steal that offensive pot of gold and run back, trying to draw some resources. And you can see ZDiggs has just no boost to work with. Is in the middle, fighting against two fully boosted players from Carmichaels. Now coming in, denied. Good save from Icy Veins in the air. Jay Cray will keep it in. And it's going to be a battle in the corner for a little bit. Jay Craze does get a nice punch out, but nobody in the center. Both the other two members have rotated back to the midfield. They're going to get beat there. Ooh. Dangerous ball in front of the net. ZDiggs was so close, but couldn't quite get contact.
Now Icy Veins needing to step up. Quickest Penny, good shot back. Will at least slow things down in full boost here for Icy Veins. Up and over one. We'll try and get past both, but just barely will lose the 50. The dunk attempt was a valiant one, but it was an attempt and an unsuccessful one nonetheless. And again, you'll see Carmichael's area clear just to have that ball come back their own way anyway.
Icy Veins does look to go flying through the sky. Good aerial control.
I wish I could do that.
Better. Yeah, no kidding. Good defense as well, though, to read that. That can be a tough ball to save, and Carmichaels, they stuck with it. Jay Cray's playing in the middle now while there's a demo in the backfield. 3v2s. Icy Veins once again goes through the air looking for the double tap, but it was set up a little wide, and therefore the subsequent shot also wide.
Quickest Penny, their ball, right back into the middle though. John Musty, ball down and into the corner, and you can see that development here for Carmichaels. They have a second player, there's Mike's. Good for the 50, keeps the ball in this Shade Central zone, and will not allow them to clear as quickly as they'd like. Now a difficult one to challenge. J.K. Ray decides instead to send it away and readjust for the team. It's like dropping the ball back and resetting the attack in a traditional soccer match, and I love that thought process there for Carmichaels.
Front of the net. John Musty, ooh, nice touch. Trying to pop it over ZDiggs, coming in, but what a save. Icy Veins reads it, picks up the second man. Shot in the middle, blocked once again. Carmichaels have put up quite a few more shots in this one. We saw 4 in game 1. I feel like we've seen 4 here in this volley alone. Mike's is coming in to try to see if they can add on to that and break this stalemate with 40 seconds to go. Nice little flick up in the air. That one's going to go off the backboard. J.K. Rays can't quite get to it. It's a back pass to John Musty. I like the control, but Icy Veins is there to win the 50.
Those back passes have to be quicker. You have to allow your team to at least give some space. Ball backwards, and there's the mistake that ends up costing them. Too much control established in the Carmichaels attacking zone. And Icy Veins, the flip reset into the pass across the net. Gross. Didn't even look that gross from the original thought as well. And just like that, Shade Central have yet another 1-goal lead with 20-something seconds left.
Oh, Icy Veins making these complicated, difficult mechanics just look easy. And the save. Deny the tie from Carmichaels. Icy Veins is doing it all right now and has control of the ball once again in a 1v2. Just needs to hold on to it. A goal would be nice, but just keep it in the blue zone, and Shade Central will move up to match point. Mike's has gotten out of the zone. John must be denied. Z-Diggs wins the 50 in front of the net. Jay Craig blocked. Z-Diggs able to hold on here for Shade Central, and now they sit with a 2-0 lead.
So close, yet so far in that conversation as well there for Carmichael's area in yet another game. They are just on the precipice of finding that equalizer in the later stages, and yet they just cannot close it out. In this occasion, they had the tie, but they just could not keep that inevitable loss from happening. Valiant effort, especially a good goal from J. Cray, a good pass from Mike's. Better game, all things considered, for Carmichael's, but it's still a Shade Central win. You can make it a 10-0 loss or a 2-1 loss, and you're still going to go down 1-0 in the series score.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the full tale of the tape. I think
True.
there is certainly I mean, just from what small sample size we had from game one, definitely looked like an improvement from Carmichael's here in game two. And when you're fighting a team on equal footing to get that go-ahead goal, I mean, that's still different than chasing your opponent from a 3-goal deficit. So, despite it is still, the scoreboard does look the same, unfortunately, for Carmichael's fans out there. Game two, they definitely looked a lot more competitive. I mean, and hanging right there with Shade Central. It was one tiny mistake that cost them that game. They're hoping they won't make it again here in game three.
Interestingly enough, it was one tiny mistake on both of the goals they gave up as well. Those two singular errors, or two individual errors, I suppose, could have corrected, but an unintentional redirect own goal. Z-Diggs takes advantage of the kickoff chaos and will send one into the back of the Carmichael area high school net. Already 14 seconds gone, and Shade Central wasting absolutely no time.
Is that an own goal, though? I mean, it's like...
Kinda.
That's like when it goes off, a goalie's hands in traditional soccer and it still goes in. Like, you don't blame the goalie for that. They just got a piece of it, just not quite
Still
enough.
going in. It was still going in.
It was still going in. Yeah. I don't want our students here to feel too bad. They were going for the save. They didn't knock that one in. Come on, it's all right, Carmichaels. You're still in this. I believe in you, Carmichaels.
What a save. Apparently, they believe in themselves as well. J. Cray with an absolutely nuts save, but a missed opportunity. John Musty a ball forward and off the back wall, but Icy Veins, patient as ever, will recollect the ball and now look to clear their own zone with it. They have some control to work with as well. They've gone sailing by the ball and have left it wide open for the taking of Carmichael, and they will at least relieve the pressure for the time being, but only as far as that halfway mark. Ball down for Z-Diggs. The ball across. Problem especially building as if they cannot clear the zone. Z-Diggs may take full advantage, and off the ceiling he'll go, using the flip he gained from just casually falling, and will go bar down from an insane angle no less. 2-0 as it stands, and Shade Central really just shade ahead of this Carmichael's area squad. And you could see JK Ray in chat saying, okay, that is an insane shot you have to contend with. And at the high school level, I don't blame the, wow, is that what I have to go up against? That's one that hurts. Now with a minute and a half gone in this game, Shade Central with more shades of dominance. Seems like they're not going to slow down anytime soon. Icy Veins ran out of boost, could not keep the ball forward, but will still have the opportunity to stay forward at that. Mike's around one, around a second, but didn't use their boost early enough and could not get around the ball far enough to set it up for the goal. Unintentional ball forward, though. Almost a misplay there for the defensive side of Shade Central, but one that does not end up costing them, but it stays in their defensive zone. Quickest Penny will get the final say and will clear it as far as Z-Diggs, who looks for the shot as well, cannot go bar down on back-to-back occasions, and we stay at a 2-goal deficit for Carmichaels to try and come back from, and Mike's makes a very important touch just to keep it that way. JK Rays now setting themselves up well, but does get 50'd out in the middle, forced out of position and away from the ball. Mike's looking for one of their own, but Z-Diggs ends up getting a pinch rather than taking the ball up the wall. And at that same juncture, it's more than enough problems to have to deal with if you're Carmichaels. Getting a demo at least relieves some of it.
My internet decided that would be the perfect time to hiccup. It was right dangling over the goal.
It was a great shot. You missed it. It was awesome.
I know. I could tell. I literally shouted at my computer. Apologies, friends. Apologies.
In the meantime, Seems like Carmichael's area still not able to stabilize, at least not outside of their own zone. Good pass across. That's there for Icy Veins, but they will at least slow things down and not force themselves out of position. If they did, they would have given up a goal, but it seems like Shade Central are aware of their 2-goal lead and the more passive play they have to adopt.
Yeah, 2 quick rotation back. Make sure this Carmichael counterpunch has no legs to stand on. Oh, and C-Dig's just speeding out. Speaking of counterpunch, look at that transition play. Icy Veins working off the top.
Oh,
Quickest pity one to come in for, but gets beat to the ball. And Carmichaels might have an opportunity here.
90 seconds. This is the real juncture where Carmichaels have to step up. They need a goal in the next 30 or so if they want to give themselves an arguable shot. And again, an unintentional correct. That's one that hurts. You're going for the 50 to clear, and instead, the 50 is what ends up sending it through. Icy Veins takes advantage of the defender's position and will send the third home. Just shy of 90 seconds remaining, and just 30 seconds a goal that Carmichaels have to find.
We saw Carmichael score 2 in a minute 30 back in game 1. They just need a little bit more. But this one's going to drop down, and they're going to need twice as much as that, as I'm afraid. As Icy Veins and the rest of Shade Central are not letting up on this Carmichael squad. It's Icy Veins with just a good read on the bounce. Sees the defenders go down, knows the ball is going to go right back up, and Icy Veins is going to go over the top. Brilliant play. Icy Veins has been an all-star all series long.
Icy Veins also apparently an all-star in their physics class, understanding ball bouncing and gravity movements. Maybe their geometry class as well, finding a couple of these angles, but it's mostly Z-Dig's the one to find the absurd angles. Icy Veins with the proper reads, and in the end, it's the team as a whole taking full advantage of, well, the variety of advantages their squad offers together, and the game probably in the end itself. Unfortunate bump that leaves Z-Dig's for the goal, but Mike's comes back and at least makes up for their 2 teammates running into each other, and at that point keeps this deficit at only 4. The problem is only 4 is still something they have to come back from.
Yeah, and obviously time is not on their side right now. Struggling to get out of the zone. Icy Veins looks like they're going to hold midfield and keep Carmichael's blocked in for now. Backing up, okay, getting very defensive. Everyone from Shade Central was in the box. They will deny the goal as a result. Z-Dig's up over the top, and now only 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, and occasionally when you see all 3 players in the box, there can be some miscommunication, but with Shade Central, that doesn't seem to be the case. JK Ray is looking for a shot of their own. We'll get a touch on it, but it goes just by. Follow-up is there, though. John but Musty cleans up on the offense and will at least bring one back, but the remaining 3 seem just unfortunately a little less than likely.
Hey, you know what, though? Carmichaels did not get shut out on a single
True.
one of these games. They're able to score in all 3 games. I mean, and against all odds, it'd be easy to just give up here in the final 15 seconds with an 0-4 goal line. But no, not Carmichaels. They're still going to give it their all, and they managed to get one on the board. It was a beautiful play. The pass off the backboard, that was one of the best goals we've seen from them this entire series. Something they can take with them, but it's going to be Shade Central who are taking the dub.
I'm not going to lie, I really thought Icy Veins was going to net that one.
It wouldn't have surprised me. Yeah.
No. Some crazy notions of this series, but nothing outlandish from both squads. And other than Z-Dig's hitting an insane ceiling shot down, Icy Veins hitting a casual flip reset pass across the net that was basically...
That just looked way too easy. Yeah, that was nuts.
How do you just casually do that and not go absolutely crazy after? Well, okay, it's entirely possible he did. We just didn't hear it because we're not in a Discord call, but it's still something you look at and say... Honestly, really good showing from Shade Central, and something that Carmichaels just couldn't step up for this week.
Very good showing from Shade Central, indeed. Icy Veins was kind of the highlight for me. We do have some Z-Digs sitting on nearly 1,000 points there in Game 3. Phenomenal show there. 5 saves, 6 shots. I mean, just nutty stat line there for Z-Digs in Game 3. But it was seriously Icy Veins with that. It was the area control, the mechanics. So impressive. This is certainly a dynamic duo that everybody should be paying attention to.
Well, at that point, Shade Central will do it. 3-0 on the series score. And